Style. Ringo TV. Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
Welcome to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. And on today, what we're going to do is talk about another topic. Subject matter will be on results of body count and the mental illness it caused. Results of body count and the mental illness it caused. I've been talking for a long time, making content to try to edify and teach women on the danger they face when they deal with toxic men. But over the years, many women have ignored the truth. They mock the truth. They say, I don't know what I'm talking about. But yet, when we look at the modern woman and we look at her relationships, we look at the choices that she makes in different men, it's very clear that every single man she encounters is always toxic. You never see these sisters with a quality man. You never see them with a good man. You never see them in love. You never see them happy. They're always angry. They grow bitter. They're mad at the world. Then they have children. You see them arguing with the baby father, arguing and fighting, making posts on Facebook, telling everybody how their baby daddy ain't no good and he's a deadbeat. And when you look at all of this stuff and you really think about it, these same women chose these men. They made the conscious decision to open their body, open their legs, and allow a man to implant his DNA in her. I've made multiple videos on body count and how dangerous it is for women to be sleeping around. But they don't want to hear that, because they want to enjoy hot girl summer. They want to enjoy a variety of men. They think that they can go out there and be a man. For some reason, the modern woman believes that she has been liberated and she could go out there and have as many encounters as she can. And in her mind, she really believes it's all good. Before we begin this educational video, this therapy session, I want to start this off by making you think. In the world today, we have a mandate where they're calling for people to receive something in their body right? What they're asking you to do is to put something in your body, and they want you to believe that it's something that's good for you, right? Now, follow me now. What they're essentially asking you to do is introduce something into your system that will affect your DNA, right? So now, ladies, I want you to think about that, right? And I want you to consider this. When you intermingle with a man and you and him are intimate, he is essentially taking his needle and implanting his own serum in you. Follow me. Follow where I'm going with this. Imagine in today's day, with the mandates and everything they're calling for, requiring you to get this and get that if you want to have a job. Now imagine you taking one dose of a particular brand, another dose of another brand, another dose of another brand, another dose of another brand, and you got all these different serums in you. Do you really think your state of mind would be normal? Do you really believe there will be no side effects? You see, I'm going to have to talk about a lot of things here. I'm going to try to keep it short, but I'm going to have to probably make another video on the side effects of sperm when planted in a woman. That needs to be a topic. And if you hear anybody else try to make a topic before me on that, you know they got it from me. But just know they will never be able to do a video like me. Never. But I need for you to understand this, ladies, because when you really think about the men that you laid with in your past, you must understand that, like the serum they want you to take, the idea of you receiving something foreign in your body, you must understand that there are side effects. There are things that happen within your body that take place when you receive a foreign entity in your system. For far too long, ladies have been given this mindset that they can open their legs, allow a man to put his needle inside of her, right? And inject her with his DNA. So what women have essentially done over the years is they taken the DNA of multiple men in their vagina, in their mouth, in their behind, everywhere possible, to the point that women really don't understand that they are taking in the serum of different men that are toxic, that have been contaminated, that have been poisoned, men that are evil by nature, and all of these demonic spirits, demons, and so forth have been planted in your system. And you're wondering why. You're having mental issues. You're wondering why you have such a hard time finding and keeping a good man. You say there are no good men in the world, But the truth is, you never had a good man. You never did. The majority of women have never had a good man because all they ever wanted was wicked men because they were poisoned in their youth. That's right. So what I want to do is I want to teach you the results of body count and the mental illness it causes. You know, you have a lot of women that are struggling when it comes to finding a good man. And it's like they can never find one. They can never even get involved with a good man, a good relationship, anything, because their past keep them from moving forward. It really do. I've talked about body count and what it does to a woman. The more you sleep around with men, the more you destroy your soul. I talk about the metamorphosis that take place in a woman's body when she encounter a new man. Ladies, when you engage in sexual activity with a man, you're not just there having pleasure. You are literally taking on the spirit of a man. So if that man is toxic, poison, bad attitude, he don't like to work, he's lazy, whatever his issues are, whatever his condition is in terms of his health, when you take on his DNA, you took on the very nature of that man. He didn't just ejaculate in you, he poisoned you. That's how dangerous this is. But you don't think it's a problem. Most of you ladies, you don't have a problem swallowing a man's DNA. You don't have a problem. You meet up with a guy, you don't know him from nowhere, he's not your husband, you're not in no long-term relationship, and you go doing all sorts of things with this man, and you really believe you're good. Not realizing that you just took into your body multiple demons, personality disorders, problems, mental illness, stress, issues from his past, and then it shapes your thinking. Let me break this thing down for you, because I talked about this 1,000 times already. You should join my Patreon site so you could get all of the food for your thoughts. When you lay with a man and he releases his spirit in you, what you're going to go through, ladies, is a metamorphosis. The change. When he encounter you and penetrate you, and he have all of this energy inside of him, and it gets to the breaking point of climax, and he release himself with force, his spirit enters your body. Every bad thing about that man enters in you. Every corrupt thing he ever done enters in you. If he's toxic, it enters in you. You understand me? Any sort of illness he have enters in you. Everything about that man enters your womb. And what happens is you go through a metamorphosis, which means you begin to change. You begin to transform into the very image of that man. Do you follow me? You begin to take on his personality, his attitudes, his weaknesses. If he's toxic, you become toxic. Now, what do you think happens when you take in the DNA of a man and you and him really don't agree with one another? What happens is side effects happen as well. And these side effects causes mental illness. You see, the way it's supposed to be is a woman is supposed to bond to a righteous man who follow the Most High, so that when he releases his spirit in her, he's a righteous man. He's a good man, a man of good character, positive thoughts, good energy, love, companionship. And when he releases himself in you as a woman, you become a better woman than before. And you and him will be able to bond in love and grow. Not only will you change for the better when you're with a righteous, positive man, but even your visual outer appearance will change for the better. But when you're with a wicked man, an evil man, a toxic man, and you go through that metamorphosis, you will become more wicked, more corrupt. Your mind will become distorted. Your thoughts will be all over the place. You won't be able to think straight. You'll make nothing but bad decisions. And this is the results of body count and the mental illness it causes. Now, what do you think happened when you dealt with 10 different guys? What do you think happens when all of that DNA enters your body? Because when a man releases spirit in you, it enters your body and it goes to your brain cells, ladies. Just like in the movies, when you see a person get infected with some sort of antibody or some sort of thing, and then all of a sudden they're controlled. Their mind is controlled. You can see this in the movie Resident Evil, where something was released in the air and it began to control the people, and they went through a metamorphosis and changed into different creatures and monsters, and their whole mind, and they lost their soul. Well, that's the same thing that happened when you deal with a toxic man. Rather than you becoming a better, stronger, righteous, quality woman of moral excellence and beauty, instead, you grow mentally ill. You lose yourself. You lose your soul. You lose your way in life. And because of the poison that's inside of you from said man, you cannot possibly get with a quality man because you're unable to choose correctly. So, what you do is you go out there and you begin to get men that are no good, men that are toxic, men that are wicked. And instead of you trying to go after the righteous man, a man who can truly love you and care for you, you look for a corrupt man. And when you look for this corrupt man, you're trying to turn a corrupt man into a good man, which is insane. And that is what women do. Women do not go after good men. They do not, brothers. When sisters are out here, they do not look for good men. They look for the worst guy. They look for men that are not emotionally available to them. Men that don't want them. Those are the men women go for. It's so sad and it's so backwards. If you're a brother and you're emotionally available to a woman, you're there to spend time. You're there to show her you care. You're there to show her you love her. She don't want that. She will look at you and ignore you, and you'll be looking at her like, lady, here I am showing you, and you don't care? And what that does, ladies, it pushes good men away. And what happens is a brother can be feeling you 1 minute, but you know what? He tried and tried and tried, and it's like, damn, lady, you just don't get it. You really don't want a quality man, and I can see it. So what he'll do is he just won't pay you any mind. He'll just ignore you, won't call you, won't text you, just ignore you, because he realized that you're not really thinking about building anything with a real quality man. But you know what's so sad, ladies? You would give all of your time and your energy to men that you know is no good, men that you know is going to pump and dump you, men that you know is going to turn against you, men that you know would get you pregnant and leave you. You would risk it all for a demon. That's the results of body count and the mental illness it caused. And I've been trying to teach ladies for years to keep their legs closed, to get with a righteous man, to get to know the brother and build, But no, they don't do that. They get with various men, have their hot girl summer, have sex every Friday with a new man, and they play this little game. And especially the ones that claim that they're, not intimate with nobody. Anytime you have a lady that says she's not intimate with nobody and she's just, she's been celibate for 5 years, please, brothers, that's a lie. It's a lie. If she's been celibate for 5 years, right, then why is she still struggling with mental illness? Why is she still struggling to find a good man? Because she's still dealing with wicked men. The truth don't lie. The proof is in the pudding. The tree is known by its fruit. If a woman is truly in a position where she's not having sexual relations with nobody for multiple years, and she's struggling mentally, right? That's a problem. That means somewhere along the lines, some guy pretty much tapped that tail and put her right back where she was previously with the other toxic men that destroyed her soul. The only way a woman can be free from the toxic mental illness that she's having is when she deals with a righteous man. Because a righteous man is going to actually show her the love she never had before. But this never happens in most cases because most women do not want a righteous man or a good man until they're old, until they hit the wall, until they're about 45, 49, 52. Then all of a sudden you'll have women that are like 52 years old. You could tell these sisters is feeling you. You could tell that they would love to talk to you, but you don't want to talk to them. Why? Because at that point, there's no real reason to talk to her. Like, what's the point? What's the point of me trying to talk to a lady that's all the way up there in her age? What am I trying to do? I can't build no family with that. She had her chance. She had her opportunity with men in her younger days. Why she never settled down with a quality man? Why it taken her that many years? Because most likely she did the same thing like you younger ladies are doing today. Playing games, jumping from this guy to that guy to that guy, thinking you got all the time in the world, not realizing that you're destroying your soul. Ladies, the more you have sexual relations with different men, the more you destroy your soul. There's no way around this. You understand? This is what causes mental illness. This is what causes women to have trauma, stress. This is what causes so many women to have to see a therapist because of their past. Toxic relationships, toxic men. This is the results of what causes mental illness. And let me tell you, ladies, something concerning these therapists. You will never get better going to these therapists. The one you need to go to is the Most High. You need to go to that Bible. You need to get with a righteous man, and you need to let him school you on what you need to know so that he can free your soul from the grips of the devil. Because a therapist's job is to make money. And the last thing a therapist needs is for you to get better. Do you understand me? There are so many people that have been seeing a therapist for 20, 30 years, over and over and over, and still in the same boat. Why? Because going to a therapist does not help you. It helps the therapist make money. And if you're a therapist, I don't care. I'm letting the people know the truth. You're not there to help them heal. You're not there to help them to get well. You're there to help your pockets get fat. Just like a doctor. You can go to your doctor, he'll tell you, oh, nothing's wrong with you when something is wrong with you. And then when something that is wrong with you start to really affect you, that's when he want to prescribe all of this junk for you to take, but it never really make you well. It just keep you coming back for refills. It's just like if you have a roach problem in your house or apartment and you go buy a roach spray, figuring if I spray this roach spray, it'll get rid of these bugs. Well, it's actually not going to get rid of them because the only way that can happen is if you stop being dirty. You see, the roach spray is a placebo. It makes you think that you're getting rid of them because you saw a few of them died when you sprayed it. But see, there is a nest in your house. And because you're dirty, because you're filthy, and you don't like to keep your house clean, you will always have roaches. And what I'm trying to tell you ladies is that as long as your mind is filthy and as long as you keep going out there dealing with a bunch of dogs, getting a bunch of fleas, you will never be clean. You will always have issues and always have need of going to a therapist because you haven't cleaned your house. See, I'm preaching, but you don't want to hear that. You want somebody to tickle your ears. What I would like to do is I would like to show you some video footage to show you mental illness in plain sight so you can see exactly what body count does to a woman. And I need for you to understand that this is real. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to laugh. I'm not here to giggle. You ain't hear no laughter tracks because this is serious business. I'm really fed up and tired of our women struggling with mental illness because they keep dealing with toxic men and avoiding a quality man that could change their whole life. This is sad. Real sad. But let's get into this thing here, shall we? Let's go.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe a copyright under 17U.S.C. 107.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some footage and we're going to study this woman's behavior, the things she have to say, her body language, eye contact, and so forth. And then I'm going to pause the video and talk so that you all can hear the truth on results of body count and the mental illness that it caused. Y'all ready? Okay, now. Let's go.
Sometimes the person that you want doesn't deserve you. Say it again. Sometimes the person that you want doesn't deserve you.
Now, notice what she just said. She says, sometimes the person that you want doesn't deserve you. Isn't that exactly what you ladies do? The person that you want, the one you want, the toxic guy, you know, the guys that you ladies always seem to get with, guys that are no good, no job, bummy, you know, got so many problems, but you think you can change him, right? Sometimes the person that you want doesn't deserve you, right? You ladies, you know this, but you get with them anyway. Why? Because your mind is toxic. See, a lot of times we like to say that you ladies are dealing with toxic men, but the truth of the matter is you are the one that is toxic because you keep choosing trash. That's right. Listen again.
Now my question is, why do we pick those people?
Now notice what she said. Now my question is, why do we pick those people? Which is another question that a lot of ladies are supposed to ask themselves. Why do you always pick men that you want, that you know ain't no good? The answer is because you're toxic. That's why. The problem is you're suffering from mental illness due to the men you dealt with in your past. That's why. And this is something your therapist won't tell you because their job is to tickle your ears and not tell you the truth, which will set you free. Your therapist will not tell you you're like this because of all the men you slept with in your past. You're like this because you never give a quality man the opportunity. You're like this because you don't know the Most High. You're like this because you don't read the scriptures. You're like this because you don't obey the commandments. You're like this because you're all over social media. You're like this because you keep exposing yourself to different men. You're like this because you give multiple men your body. This is why you're like this. This is why you keep picking these kind of men. It's called mental illness. And it's like that because you went through a metamorphosis and you destroyed your mind because of the DNA that is affecting you from different men. Ladies, you're carrying the spirits of all the men you were sexually intimate with. And that is why your brain is so clogged up and you have so many issues. It's because all of the demons from these different men have hold of your soul. Let's go.
What makes us pick the person that we know subconsciously doesn't deserve our love?
Now, she says, what makes us pick the person that we know subconsciously doesn't deserve our love? Now, what I would like to say in response to that is this. You ladies must understand that the relationships that you get in with all of these toxic men have nothing to do with love. Let's make that clear. Because you're not giving none of these men love. You're just giving them vagina. You're not giving them love. You're just giving them head. You're not giving them love because you don't know what love is. You never experience love. For if you experience love, you wouldn't be making these decisions to deal with nothing but toxic men. Do you understand me? So it's not about these particular men, about what make us pick the person that we know subconsciously doesn't deserve our love. Listen, if you keep picking a person that you know subconsciously doesn't deserve your love, then you got mental problems. It's very clear. It makes no sense to be a grown woman who's educated, who got a degree, but yet you know that the man that you dealing with don't really deserve you, but you're there anyway. That's crazy. That's when you know you have a problem. And there are many women that are going through this problem. And rather than them seeking the Most High for help, they go to a therapist or they go to Kevin Samuels in hopes that Kevin Samuels will direct you to a therapist so that you could get therapy, only to make somebody a bunch of money, but you really never overcome the trauma that you have. You really never do. You understand? This is mental illness in plain sight. What make us pick the person that we know subconsciously doesn't deserve our love? What make you do that, ladies, is that you are suffering from the spirits of your past. The evil, toxic males that you encountered in your past have shaped your mind, shaped your spirit to the point where you only attract toxic men. And that is what's happening because you're not trying to pick a righteous man. You're not trying to pick a guy that knows the scriptures. You're not trying to pick a guy that stays out of prison. You're not trying to pick a guy that could keep a job. No. You want to pick a guy that got no job. You want to pick a guy that's a bum. You want to pick a guy that have nothing going for himself. You want to pick a guy that rob and steal. You want to pick a guy that abuse women. You want to pick a guy that's abusive. You want to pick a guy that is an idiot. Those are the kind of men you always seem to pick. You never find these sisters picking a quality man. Never, ever, never. It's always a trash bum. Toxic male who use her, pump and dump her, and leave her like trash. Leave her in bed broken. The only thing she can remember is what sheets was on the bed because she have no good memories of happiness with these men. Every relationship they get in with is always sexual. There is never no love. Never. Mental illness, people. Let's go.
Huh? I'm ready to fight myself. What?
Notice that, ladies and gentlemen. She says she's ready to fight herself. Are you seeing the behavior here? Look at this.
Past trauma.
Notice she says past trauma. She's laughing, giggling, smiling. This is mental illness in plain sight. You understand? She know it's past trauma. Just like I've been teaching over the years. Past trauma. No, past semen that's in her womb. Do you understand? The side effects of semen from different men. That's what this is, ladies and gentlemen. The side effects. The DNA of different men that's still involved in this woman's life. It's inside of her brain cells. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If you recently went out there and you took that serum that the system of this world is offering people in exchange for keeping a job, please understand that that serum stays in your body and it's not going nowhere. Do you understand me? So now you ladies, you want to go out there and you want to have sex with all these guys? You want to go out there and get some D? You want to have fun with your girls? You want to drink, party, and BS? Right? Okay. When you allow a man to pump you, dump you, ejaculate in you, right? You just took in his DNA. That DNA is in your body working and doing all sorts of things to your spirit. So when you get with a new man, you're going to treat that man in a certain way based on the past relationships you had. And this is why it's so difficult for you good brothers to really settle down with a sister, because most of them come from hurtful relationships and toxic relationships. And when they're around you, rather than these sisters feeling appreciative to be near a good man, instead, they neglect you. They neglect your time. They neglect your energy. And instead, they push you away by ignoring you or mistreating you or not appreciating you, which in turn make you walk away. And then these very same ladies, when they don't hear from you, let me tell you how does mental illness work. When you're in her face or you show that you care or you make her time for her, you're emotionally available for her, right? She will reject you and act like she don't know you and just do all sorts of things, right? Now, when you stay away and you don't talk to her and you just ignore her and you just don't be around, guess what happens? Guess what happens? All of a sudden now she starts to look for you. Do you see that? That's a part of the mental illness, because what she's essentially doing is she's doing what she's always done. Go after men that really don't care. And then when you react to her responding to you, right? And now you show that you care, all of a sudden she go back into that other frame of mind of just ignoring you again. And then when you ignore her for a long period of time, then she contact you again, trying to communicate, because she's treating you just like all the toxic men she dealt with in her past. That's mental illness to the max. And it's bad, because you think that a woman, when she shows interest because she's wanting to build, but really what she want is a man that's abusive. She want a man that's toxic. She want a man that really don't care about her, a man that don't love her. That is what the majority of women want, because they find that to be very fun. They love chaos. They love trauma. They love drama. They love arguing. If they don't have an opportunity to argue with you, that's a problem. They don't want peace. They don't like when it's all quiet and lovey-dovey. They want something to argue about, because good arguments lead most of the time to some good sex. And this is what they want. You understand? Most of their experiences have nothing to do with love. It's all sexual based. That's it. Let's go.
What? Which one of you motherfuckers made me like this?
Wow. Which one of you mother effers made me like this? Do you see that, ladies and gentlemen? She said, which one of you? Which mean she have a high body count. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot make this up. She said, which one of you? Which one of you? She's on a camera talking to whoever she's talking to, right? Because this particular video is from TikTok. She's on there talking on the camera, saying, which one of you mother effers made me like this? Now, how could a man make her like that? Through sexual relations. The encounter, implanting his spirit, his DNA, his semen. Ladies, keep thinking it's a joke. Keep thinking because you got a fat behind, nice tits, nice waistline, your body is smoking hot. Keep thinking that you could just go out here and hand it off to all of these toxic men. You, sister, you, lady, you, woman, are destroying your soul. And all of those men have left, and you're done. And by the time life really catch up to you, you're gonna find yourself by yourself. How many of you sisters at the sound of my voice are going through this very same thing right now? How many of you sisters got kids from toxic men? How many of you sisters have become single mothers because of your actions? Because you never took the time to get to know a brother, because you never took the time to really acknowledge your wrongdoing. Instead, you went out there, lived your best life now, went out there, partied, hot girl summer with your girls, dealt with all these guys, and you knew subconsciously that these men that you were dealing with was no good, but it was fun to do. Oh yeah, it was so much fun.
Huh? We go for the toxic boys?
Notice what she said. We go for the toxic boys.
Because they're interesting and fun?
Because they're interesting and fun. Brothers, this is the truth. This is what the majority of them do. They go after the toxic brothers. The toxic ones. And you wonder why they always in toxic relationships. You wonder why. Trust and believe, brothers, when you see these sisters coming out of these relationships from toxic, abusive, crazy relationships, it's not from no good man. It's from a toxic man that they went for because they thought these guys were fun and interesting. And when they looked at you good brothers, you righteous brothers, you brothers that know the scriptures, these sisters didn't find you interesting or fun. And now they're paying the price. And guess what, brothers? We always win at the end. Because later in life, all of these same sisters, they're going to end up wanting you. And guess what? You have the choice now to reject them all. Oh yeah. If they wait too long and continue in a rebellious life, neglecting the righteous men, the good brothers, they're going to find themselves to become old, gray, and decrepit, and nobody's going to want them at all. True spit. Let's go.
Why? We don't want stability?
That's exactly what you don't want. You don't want stability. See, she knows exactly what it is, and most ladies know this to be true. They don't want stability. They love chaos. They don't want stability, brothers. They really don't. And most of you ladies in the clouds, you know this to be a fact. You don't want stability. You don't want love. You don't want companionship. You want drama. You want chaos. You want to argue. You want to bicker. You want to fight. You want to go insane. And it's all because of the different men you dealt with. This is the reason and the results of body count and the cause of mental illness in majority of women today. They are not dealing with quality men.
And true love?
And true love. Notice that. We don't want stability and true love. That is a fact, brothers. The majority of sisters that are in toxic relationships and go through this type of trauma and hell and hot waters is because they do not want stability, right? They don't want a stable relationship, not at all. And they don't want true love. The only thing they want is sex. Understand what I just said there? The majority of them don't want true love. They just want a sexual experience. They don't want no love. The last thing these women want is love, brothers. You talk about love to them, they look at you as a lame. But let's see how much they think you're a lame later in life when they hit that wall and they realize that they're 45, pushing 50s, 55, 60, and they're alone. Oh, they're gonna be looking for you then. And by that time, we're not even thinking about them. There's no reason to get them. Can't build no family with a woman that old. It's just not gonna happen. And this is what I've always been preaching for many years. Most women give the best years of their life to nothing but toxic men. Most women, when they're in their prime, when their body is smoking hot, when they're looking real good, nice firm breasts, nice behind, slim waistline, pretty face, pretty lips, everything about them from head to toe is delicious and look gorgeous. They give all of their body, mind, and soul to nothing but toxic men. And by the time they hit that 35, 40, 45, gaining some weight, had a few kids, all of a sudden, now they want the righteous man. Now they want to wear their daishiki. Now they want to come to the Most High and learn the Bible. Now they want to avoid shrimp. Isn't that crazy? Why is it that it takes women pushing their age and getting old and decrepit in order for them to learn that now they need a good man? You know what I find? I find it to be very offensive, ladies, for you to want a man, a righteous man, a good man, when you realize that your time is up and your market value is down. I find that to be very offensive. To come to a righteous man after you done given your body, mind, and soul to every man in your neighborhood, men in Dubai, men in LA, men in New York, men in Chicago, men all over the place. You gave all these men a taste of your body. And by the time you had 2, 3, 4 kids, now, all of a sudden, now you want to give the righteous man the time of day when you realize that your market value is down and nobody really want you and you're not really all that attractive the way you once was when you was in your prime. That is when you want to give the good brother the time of day because you figure he's going to take you in and clean up the mess. That's crazy. That's insane. And I find that a lot of sisters do that. I've been contacted by sisters. Just like that. Sisters I knew from way back. She had about 2, 3 kids, gained some weight. All of a sudden hitting me up out of the blue. I'm like, what the hell you contacting me for? Hey, I seen you on YouTube. I didn't know you do that. Wow. You want to link up? No, I don't. I don't want to link up. The hell wrong with you? I mean, damn, last time I tried to talk to you, I was in high school. Like, damn, all these years passed by, you like, nah, you tripping. Tripping. Why? Because they see you doing good. They see you doing good. They realize that, you know, you're not toxic like all the other men they dealt with. So they want to try to see if they can come in and get with you now. No, we're not doing that. Let's go. Do you see the mental illness, people? Do you see the mental illness?
My therapist is definitely getting a call.
Notice what she said. My therapist is definitely getting a call later tonight.
Sometimes the person that you want doesn't deserve you. Say it again. Sometimes the person that you want doesn't deserve you. Now, my question is, why do we pick those people?
Interesting.
What makes us pick the person that we know subconsciously doesn't deserve our love? Huh? I'm ready to fight myself. What past trauma? What? Which one of you motherfuckers made me like this? Huh? We go for the toxic boys.
Wow.
Because they're interesting and fun. Why? We don't want stability and true love?
Nope.
My therapist is definitely getting a call later tonight. Sometimes the person that
Do you
you
see
want
this,
doesn't
ladies and
deserve
gentlemen?
you.
Do you see
Say
this?
it again. Sometimes the person that you want doesn't deserve you.
See, the person that most of you sisters want, they don't even want you. But you give them your body. Most of you sisters, you got pregnant by men that don't even want you. Most of you sisters, you have children from a man that don't care about you. Not only don't care about you, he don't even care about the kids. Why? Because you made the choice to deal with that bum when you could have had the babies of a righteous man who would love you. Look at this mental illness.
Now, my question is, why do we pick those people?
Mental illness.
What makes us pick the person that we know subconsciously doesn't deserve our love? Huh?
See, this is where we get bipolar, schizos. This is where we get all of these different illnesses from sexual encounters that women have with different men. This is crazy. Look at how she's parading. I'm not impressed. I would stay clear from women like that. A woman like that will probably kill you. Literally. Women like that you have to avoid. Like that, she's far too gone. Far too gone.
I'm ready to fight myself.
If she's ready to fight herself, she will be ready to fight you. Oh yeah. Destroy your car, burn your house down, stab you, you name it.
What past trauma? What? Which one of you motherfuckers made me like this?
Notice which one of you guys made her like this. Which one? Which one of you guys made her like that? Look at her eyes, how it's wide open. Do you see the mental disconnect? Do you see that? And see, a lot of you guys, when you see women like that, you just see the big breasts, you just see her face, and you ready to get it in, you ready to hit it, ready to poison her some more. You know how many women out there are damaged, man? And then you guys go sleep with them, damaging them even more. She already have mental problems. She already got issues. And then you want to go out there and pump and dump her and cause her to be damaged even more. This is why the pump and dump guys are so wicked and evil, because they're the reason why these women are destroyed like this. I'm pretty sure that woman right there had many encounters to the point where she is destroyed. You could forget about marriage. It's just not gonna happen. She would just always be online, throwing her body around, doing whatever she gotta do, and then end up getting screwed around by another man, pumped and dumped, no man taking her serious, because no man in his right mind is gonna wife up a woman that is out of her mind like that. Most of these guys just use them for sex and leave them right where they got them. And it's sad, man. Really is.
Huh? We go for the toxic boys.
Yep.
Because they're interesting and fun.
Yep.
Why? We don't want stability?
Nope.
And true love?
Nope.
My therapist is definitely getting a call later tonight. Sometimes.
Wow. There's no more to see there, people. I think you get the point. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the results of body count and the mental illness that it caused women. When a woman is sexually intimate with multiple men, toxic men, this is what you get. As a lady, your vagina was never made to be ran in and out of by different men. I don't know why this society had made you believe that it's cool for you to do, but if you really think about it, just look around you, just look at all your sisters, just look at every sister in the hood, everywhere you go. You'll see nothing but strollers, babies, and single women with no husbands. And it ain't a coincidence. There's a reason for all of this. You got a lot of wicked men out here that are pumping and dumping women. And guess what, ladies? You made the choice to lay up with them. So even if these guys out here is wicked as hell, you made the choice to lay up with them when you had the opportunity to get with a righteous man who would have loved you and cared for you and been there right now. That being said, if you like my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos. Click the notification bell to know when I drop a new video. If you like to support, you can do so via PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw or via Cash App, $RingoTVRaw. Join me on Patreon for exclusive content at patreon.com/blackmailadvicetv. And it is what it is, y'all. You know, follow me on Instagram too, at RingoTVRaw. And that's pretty much it, man. This is a serious topic. I'm gonna have more videos on these type of issues, man. It's just real. And I just hope people out there gain the truth and understand that this is real therapy. The content that I'm sharing is real talk, real therapy to help you change. If you're a sister and you know you're going through this, it's time for you to change. And the only way you can change is for you to stop having intercourse with all of these wicked brothers out here. Keep your legs closed, get in them scriptures, come to the Most High, repent of your sins, and stop playing games, because you're never gonna overcome the trauma that you have by continually dealing with dogs. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what's your attraction to these filthy men that you know is no good. You know they're no good, but your legs is open. You know he gonna leave you, but you giving him head. Imagine that. She would give a man head that she know is no good, but you good brothers that treat them right. Oh, she wouldn't think, she's not turned on enough to give you head. Oh no. She don't see herself doing that with you, but she sure enough see herself doing that with a man that she know is gonna abuse her. That's crazy. But we're gonna have more content on this. So y'all take care. Have a good day. Have a blessed day. Be safe out there. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. I'm out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $RingoTVRaw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw.